Hey guys, it's Andrew from Collective Intelligence, and today we are making a sound inside of Serum. This is a plucking lead type sound, and you'll hear this type of sound in various types of electronic music. It's going to sound like this. So let's get it started. I've got an initiated patch here in front of me, and we are using one oscillator. Now I'm going to drop the oscillator down 2 octaves. Definitely 1, maybe 2. We'll feel that out as we go, and we'll have a listen to that. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to address is I want to add some unison. So I want more than one voice. So right now we've got, it's essentially one oscillator and it's just playing one version of that saw wave. I can extend it so that oscillator is actually kind of playing 8 simultaneously side by side. And that sounds like this. And then next what I can do is I can detune them from each other so that not each one of these different individual saw waves are exactly in the same tuning. I like it around there. I'm going to bring the phase right to the beginning. Now we'll come over to the first envelope. So this is going to be our amp envelope, and this is going to control the overall character of whether it's like a plucking sound or a sustained note or something like this. So I'm going to pull the sustain all the way down, and I'm going to pull the decay in, and I'm going to get something pretty tight. So that would be appropriate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to map macro 2 to the decay. And the decay amount, I won't let it go all the way open. And what we're going to be able to do with this is going to be an expression control. So let's say expression 1. And when I grab it and pull it open, it's increasing the length of each hit. So you're hearing more of the full saw wave as I open it up. Right, so it's controlling this, and it's taking the decay, and it's basically just moving it further along. And we could decide, you know, where the sweet spot would be for that. So that's too much. I think around there is just right. Cool, great. So we've got our overall amp controlling. We've got our first oscillator. Let's enable the filter. And I could use an LFO instead for the filter, so that's what I'll do in this case. And I'll put it on envelope mode, and I'll pop this on 16th note. So every 16th note, or every time a note's played, the duration of this LFO will be for a 16th note. So if I pull that to the start, I'm going to make a little ramp like this, and I'm going to pull down the filter. So I've just got a 12 decibel per octave filter on there. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to chuck it on. All right, so now we've got some filter movement. All right. So we're getting a similar expression from that. Okay, so we can give this knob expression as well, which is great. So we'll come here and we're going to add that, and we're going to say that that can go to halfway. And when we grab this, now that filter's opening all the way out. Right? So we can introduce, we've got 2 layers of expression now that we can control. Expression 2. Great. So next, what we're dealing with right now is a sound that's playing constantly in the same position. So maybe we want to give it some movement in terms of panning it around. And we can do that with another LFO as well. So we can pop that on there. And at the moment, just going to go from side to side, right? So if we set it to like a bar and we make that grid like that, and I'm holding shift to draw in like this. So I just hold shift and I click. I'm panning hard right and hard left at the moment, and I'm not going to do this as the final way I pan it. I'm just getting everything right. So now we got some pretty hectic panning from one side to the other. So I'll put the maximum amount of the panning to like that, and I'm going to just kind of undo random so if we bypass that, yeah, it's definitely giving it a lot of movement. Do we want, we could add resonance to give it sort of an acidic texture to it. And when I say acidic, I mean in the sense of like a TB 303. So if you want to add that as another layer of expression, I'd encourage that. Let's call it acid, right? Start cranking that, bring open the fit. Right, now that's maybe a bit much. Maybe we bring that to like 60. Nice. That sounds great. Cool. All right, so let's add a couple of additional features to the sound. So we could try hyper. We've already given it a bit of width. It does add a metallic feel to the sound, which is interesting. And that, again, is something that we could use an expression for. So if we wanted to pop that on, we could then have a sort of massive macro. But I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to use that. So let's go distortion. And again, I can put it on envelope, 16ths. And I can use this to add some more attack to the sound. So if I, right, so that's got more body. That seems to take body out of it. We could add that on. We could add that on this expression knob. So now we're controlling. Yeah, nice. We're controlling 2 parameters at once with that one. That's pretty cool. Now let's try multiband. We just quite like that too. Cool. So we're getting pretty full here. Let's pop those there. What more could we do, guys? We need to think about this. Do we need to take anything out? So at this point, if we thought the sound's got too much bottom end, we could take it out. I think we need a bit of that body. Maybe I'll put it there. If we want to add a bit of top, maybe we can add a little bit of air. So off. Yeah, I like the air that it adds. Really like the sound of it as we sweep through this part. Great, okay, cool. We're getting a pretty cool sound. What else do we want to add here? We could add a secondary filter. The reason I would do something like that is if I wasn't controlling the overall brightness here, I would put an overall low pass on it and I would control it that way, but we don't need to do that. But we do need some reverb and delay. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not one for doing reverb and delay inside of the plugin. In this case, we'll do it though. But the reason I don't usually do that is because I quite like having direct control over it. So I'm going to do 1/8 dotted. Why is it not working? Stops when I press spacebar. That's it. That's better. So that still seems. Cool. All right, so we're just going to filter the delay a bit, put it on 1/4 dotted timing, ping pong delay, a bit of feedback, and then finally some reverb. Don't want to put too much reverb because I want to maintain. Yeah, puts it in a room. We don't really need to. Pretty happy with that. The decay could be shorter. Because it's like, we don't want. We just want to brighten up the sound with the room, right? We don't want to be redlining, so apologies for that. Cool. All right. So some final thoughts for you all. If we had a variation of velocity in here, right? So I'm just going to randomly draw stuff in. If I have a variation of velocity here, I can take that and I can map it to certain parameters. So in this case, we'll go to the envelope, velocity. I'm going to put it on here. So the notes that play higher will be brighter because they will have a longer amount of time playing. And I'm going to do the same for the cutoff. This helps us give us a bit of expression, and then also the velocity should be controlling volume as well. So if we right, so not that dramatically, but if I go from 75 to say 100, yeah, so for that period of time where I'm automating it, you get a lot of feel from velocity automation. Cool, all right, that's the tutorial. And I hope you guys have fun playing around with that sound. If you found it useful, give it a thumb up. And I will see you guys in another video, and peace.